Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here and welcome to part 2 of 10 cards 1 kit. So these are the 5 cards that we made in our first video. Let's move them out of the way. And I have got my die cutting machine, so I'm using the Gemini Midi. It's the only one I've got now because I did destash quite a bit. Because I have the Cricut machine now and it's very rare that I use dies, so I thought, and I like how portable it is because unfortunately I struggled with getting my big brother one out because it's quite a heavy machine. So anyway, these are the dies we're going to be playing with, so they do come in the kit. They're absolutely beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some papers down to A6 because we're doing an A6 card. So I'm going to do 4 by 5. Oh, it's just right. There we go. No, I'm going to do 4 by 5.5. Actually, let's do 3 7/8 by 5.5. Okay. So this one is going to be the back, and we are going to die cut this bit out, so the smallest of the dies. I then want the one with the flowers, so again I'm going to do 4 7/8. I want them all the same size by 5.5 of the green with flowers on, and this one is the one where we're going to have the deers cut out. And then for our front piece, I'm going to have this piece. So we're going to do 3 7/8 by 5.5. Okay. And this piece is going to get cut out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, thought I might have had some washi on the table, but I don't. Well, we should be okay. So we're just going to line it up like so. So I want that to be just like this, and then lay that down. Hopefully it won't move. Nope. And then I'm just going to run this through. Now it is really bent, my my plate, but we should be good. Sorry, the camera will move because it is attached to the desk. I do have some cutting mats that I also use with this, but okay, so that was run through once and it's cut beautifully. So just make sure all those bits, so there's our first layer all done. Okay. And then the second layer, again, I'm just going to make sure that this is just like that, that it's centered. We're going to pop that in there, make sure it doesn't move. Okay, and then we're going to run this one through. Is it this way or this way? This way, like so. So let's run that through. Okay, again, sorry for the shaking, but I want to do all of this on camera with you, just so that you can see exactly how it all works. So let's get rid of that. So that is your second layer done. And then the third layer. Okay, just going to get rid of that bit, those bits of rubbish. Again, let's make sure this is centered as the best that we can, and then try not to move it, just like that. And then we're going to run that through the die cutting machine as well, just like this. Right, okay. Oh, put that through, so wonky. Just all the way through, just like that, and there we have it. Right, let's get rid of our die cutting machine. Oh, if I can unsucker it. and there is the other layer. So I'm going to show you now how this all goes together. I do need to grab a card base, but I need to actually cut them in half because I've already prepped them, but I need to cut them in half. Right, there we go. Okay, so our first piece is this piece, which is just going to sit on the back. So I'm just going to grab some glue, and we're going to glue this down on our back of our card. So this is our first piece. So we're just going to line that up as best as we can. Okay. And then just press that down, make sure it all sticks. I do need to definitely get some better plates for it. Okay, there we go. Then our second piece is our reindeers. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some foam on, and we're going to raise this up. So and we're just going to put it everywhere. Okay, I'm going to try and get a really good coverage as well, just because my plates are really warped, so it does warp the paper. Okay, so just like that. And then again, I'm just making sure everywhere is going to be nicely covered. I'm going to have to cut a couple of these in half so I can do those trees. Okay, so they all decided to come off in one go. So I'm just using, this is just 3D foam from Tonic Studios that I found in my stash. I've actually got quite a lot of foam left. So when I sorted out my studio and we changed over the shelves, I actually put all of my adhesives into one box, whereas they were just dotted everywhere. So now I can actually see what I have, which is very, very useful. Whereas it was all dotted around the studio before. So, okay. So I am, like I said, I am putting quite a bit on because my plates have warped this. So I'm just going to cut some of these in half. Oh my goodness. If I can, that is. I'm doing a very good job here. Right, okay. On that. I do want another bit on this bit. And that bit there. And then a bit over there. Release paper off. Okay, so there's that bit, and then I just want, I'm going to have to cut some more down. Want a bit on there, and I just want a small bit here, and a piece in for the door as well. So let's do that. Okay, so there's the door done. And then that bit on there, and I think that is us with a really good coverage. So we are just going to take off all of this backing. So it is going to take me a few minutes to do, so I'm going to pause you while I take it off, and then we'll come back and stick it down. Right, okay, we're back now. I've put the foam on the other piece as well, just because I don't think you want to see that. Okay, now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up these bottom two corners like that, and then very gently we're just going to stick these down. Okay, so there is our second layer, and then our third layer we're going to do exactly the same. Just line up these bottom corners like this, and then we're going to just push that down, and there you have your layered card. How gorgeous is that die? Oh, I just think it's so beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to put a sentiment on, and I want to use this sentiment which comes in the kit, the wooden one, because I just think this will go perfect with our piece. So let me grab my craft knife, if we can get it opened. I use it all the time for, there we go, when I'm doing resin, to open up like tubs and stuff, so it keeps getting stuck. Right, there's that one. But you've just got a couple of little, I've left it on the on this because it just keeps it from not, like, it just means nothing will happen to it in transit, because it is very delicate, but it's beautiful. Right, okay, why have you decided to go like that? Okay, there we go. So that is our sentiment. So all I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to have thank there and put you, I don't know whether to have, oh yeah, do you know what, I'm going to have it like that. So I'm just going to grab my glue. I'm just using my regular glue for this. Okay, and we're just going to glue it down. Now you can add gems, you can add pops of colour to this, you can do anything you want. But this is, I thought, you know what, let's use, the only thing I think I would change was maybe put some blue, like for sky, around there. So maybe do a little bit of ink blending. I didn't really think of that until now. But other than that, I do think that this has turned out very beautiful indeed. Do you know what, let's add, I'm going to add a little bit of gold detail to this. Let's colour in, I know the bluebells, but I think it'd be quite nice to add a bit of gold detail into that, and then just to give it a little bit something else. I do like that, I really like it. I'm trying to think, do I want to do anything else to it? I don't know whether to colour these in gold, but then no, I think that would be a bit too much. Let's just do the leaves that are sort of hanging over like this. Okay, and then here, so I just think it's just going to give that little bit of extra something, isn't it? Okay, and then this one. Right, okay, I think that we're done. Okay, so I'm just doing the last few bits. There we go. I really like the hint of that gold. So there we go, that is our first card for this video done. Isn't it just gorgeous? I love it. Right, okay, so there's that one. Now let's do our next card. So for our next one, I'm going to use Tommy Turtle. Actually, do you know what, let's make a little wall plaque. Instead of a card, we're going to do a little wall plaque. So I'm going to start off with, let's just put some glue down using our scrappy bits. Okay, like that. Have a look what else we've got. yeah, oh, I want to put some glue under there because that's sort of lifting up like that. And same on this side. So just like that. Okay. And then pop some glue along here, making sure I get those edges because I want those edges to stay down. So I'm just going to put that on. Okay, I am going to cut these down as well. What else do we have? Make sure that's nice and stuck down. We do have another bit of this green which I could definitely pop here, so let's do that. I love that we can use our little bits and pieces to create something. I just think it's fab. Right, I do. And then we have this piece which can go here. Okay, I'm just going to glue it all. Yeah. And then stick that on there like that and really squidge that down. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off just so that we can have this corner done as well. Right, okay, so there is that all done. And then all we're going to do is just go around the edge like this and just cut off any extras. Oh, that one's fell off, so I'll come back and do that. Okay. Make sure everything's okay. I should have brought a bigger pair of scissors to do this, but there you go. And then the last side. Okay, so loving that. Now let me just pop some more glue here, and like I said, we just want this on. So I'll leave that to dry and then we'll come back and we'll trim that up. So for the little thing to hang it, I'm going to just use some of this. Do you know what? I'm going to use this end bit because we only need a small amount. And I'm just going to fold it over like that. So you just need it. And then we're going to stick that, or do I want it so that, do you know what, I'm actually going to do that. Now I'm going to grab my glue gun for this, so let me just find which one's my glue gun. Let's plug that in. So I'll get my glue gun ready, and we'll use a glue gun to stick that down. So this should be dry. There we go. Now, just to make sure that the edges are a bit better, where is my nail files? Right, let me go and grab, oh, it's over here, a nail file, and I'm just going to go around this edge just to make that a nice neat edge. Okay. So any bits that I've missed, sorry about that noise, they will be on there. Now, what we're going to do is, I'm thinking I quite like the idea of flowers. And maybe have Tommy Turtle, but not the big one. Do we have a little one? We do have a little one. So let's make these 3D. So to make them 3D, I'm just cutting down into that center. Okay. And then we are just going to drag sort of curl those petals. Okay, and then we're going to stick this down. So that one's going to go there. Now I am going to pop a little bit of glue there and we'll stick this down. Now please do be careful because your glue gun is hot. I do have a silicone spatula thing here, so use that, and I'm just going to put a line of glue just over the top, and this is just to keep it in place. Okay, there we go, and that can be used then to hang our piece. So really easy to do. Right, let's grab, oh, we flattened that, so let's oh, that needs to dry a bit. Let's sort them out, make them more 3D again. Okay, you could put dimension under the petals if you wanted to, if you didn't want it to, like, you didn't want to risk it getting flat, so that is an option. Now, where is, there they are. So I'm going to grab one of our little flowers and we're going to stick that just in the center there. There's that one, and then I'm going to do the same with this one. Again, cutting down into the center so that we can make it more 3D. Like this. Okay, and then this one is just going to go, I think, at the bottom here. That. And again, let's grab one of these and pop that in the center like that. I like that a lot. Then let's have a look. I think I've used all of those ones. Where have I put our little turtle? Where's Tommy gone? Okay, and then he is just going to be in there, and what I'm going to do is we're going to raise them up, but we're going to use the chipboard to do it because we can. And it's a good way of getting dimension as well. Okay, so just cut off where you can see that chipboard like that, and then this bit, and then I just want a little bit in his head. Okay, and then let's glue him down. Okay, and he's just going to go in there like that. Oh, he looks so cool. And then I've got one of these flowers, so I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm just going to chop into it so that we can make it more 3D. Like this. And then this one, and then we're just going to curl all of those petals over like this, and then that's just going to sit there. Okay, and then to finish it off, I'm just going to grab another one of these. I'm not going to put any words or anything on it, so I don't think we need it. But I do think, right, let me unplug that because we don't need that anymore now. Yeah, how cute is that? Now I do have some glue strings, but the best way to get rid of glue strings is your heat gun. So if I want to blast that with the heat gun, that will work. But there, a little wall hanger. That is so cute. I really like that. So that is that one done. So let's make, but you could do that as a card design as well, so you don't have to use it as a hanger. So you can do anything you want. This is just to give you a few ideas of how you can use the kit. And if you haven't got the kit, just a few ideas of how to use your stash. So, right, okay, next up, I'm going to make another card. Now, let me just grab all my bits to see what we've got left. Okay. Oh, get rid of all this packaging because we don't need the packaging, and I think it's just getting in my way and I can't really see what I'm doing. Move that. Move that. Oh. And get rid of all of this rubbish. We want to keep those bits because we can use them. I've got one little gem left. Right, we've got that flower left. All that's rubbish. My goodness. Yeah, I've still got quite a bit left. So, let's have a look. Just make sure, I'm just making sure I've got everything that belongs in the kit. Right, okay. So, let's get rid of this rubbish, because we really don't need it. We'll keep those wooden bits because we will use them for dimension. And then if I don't by the end of the video, I'll pop them in recycling. Okay, so now we've got that sorted. Let's get on to our next card. So this time, oh, look at that, perfect. Already cut. So we're going to use that. I might use some of this lace. So let's do that. I've got enough lace actually to do 2 more cards. So that is good to know. Make sure we have it the right way. Okay. Although, do you know what? I think we need the glue gun back on. So let's grab the glue gun. Because, yeah, I am going to cut out some of the flowers from here. Yeah, definitely. Okay, and we'll make a feature of them with this lace. But I want the lace to be quite floppy, I think. So let's cut out all of these. Now I've already used the acorns. So, because I think the acorns would be nice on this as well. Oh my goodness, Dom, your cutting out here is terrible. This is really bad. But there you go. Okay. Now let's do this one. So I'm going to cut this one out. And hopefully it's not going to be as bad as that one, because that one was terrible. Okay. Just like this. And I'm going to use one of those thank you hearts. So I think that would look nice on here. Oh. So just all the way around. Right, there we go. So we've got those. So I'm going to have that one up there to hold it into place. Like I said, I want it a bit floppy. Oh, I need to wait for that to heat up. And then I'm just going to simply have the heart just there saying thank you. And we're just going to keep it as that. So let me move all of this, because before we start using the glue gun on that, what I can do is I can stick down this piece. Okay, just like so. There it is. And then we're going to just lay that out like that. And then using our glue gun, we are just going to stick down our lace, because remember I want that quite loose, and then that bit up there. And the good thing about the glue gun is it will adhere instantly, which is what we're wanting. Okay, and then that there, and then finishing up with the thank you, just like that, and then that will hold the rest down. Perfect. And then I love how this is just loose. So that is our third card, well technically the second one, because we did do the other one. Now on to our next card. So I'm going to cut this. So this is just 300 GSM cardstock, A4 cardstock that I folded in half and then I'm cutting in half. So that's what I'm using for my card bases. So first I'm going to use this nice bright green and I'm going to tear it. I'm going to stick it on there. First of all, let me just cut a little bit off. There we go. Oh, glue it onto this one. Wrong glue. This one. Okay. So we're just going to glue this down like this. Okay. And then I'm going to create my own background using these stickers. And I'm just going to go around the edges with them because the center we're going to have something in the center. So to make sure that I definitely have enough of them, we're just sort of going around the outside like this. Okay, perfect. So let's make it quite funky. This one. Oh. Okay. And then now that that's done, now I'll sort of fill in as we go around. Because I'm thinking of using the picture frames for this one. Okay, I'm hoping there's enough on here to get a second, like, to go all the way around. I think there is. But it's just something a little different. I quite like it. Right, do you know what? I'm going to fill in up the top here. Like this. Just because I feel like there's quite a bit of a gap there. Okay. And then I'm just going to continue just until all of these have gone. Like this. Okay, another one there. You can go just in there. Right, I have two left. One there. And you can go there. Perfect. Right, okay. So there's that. And then I do have a couple of picture frames left. And I do have a couple of flowers. So these are from the ephemera pack. And I'm just thinking of something so simple as that. So that's what we're going to do. Do you know what? I think I want the lace underneath. I really do. I think that lace is just going to be perfect. So I'm just going to take a little bit off because I don't want it all. Right. And I don't think I want as many flowers now. as many, not flowers, sorry. Oh, I do like that, because I'm thinking now that because we've got that lace, that gives, yeah, perfect, right, so much better. So let me just grab my heat gun, not heat gun, my glue gun, and then I'm going to do a sentiment, but I think I'm going to hand write a sentiment again, because I like doing that. Okay, so stick that on there. So this is all going to keep this lace in place. Okay, and then just glue that on, but then I'm going to grab our, what you call it, this the wood chip, just so that it will be raised up, and then let's glue that in place. I mean, you can just use your normal glue, like I said, to do this, but I think it's quite nice having the glue gun to hand. Right, let's have a look. See, I like that, but I don't think it'll write on it very well. Okay, what sentiment I'm going to put? Ooh, I don't know whether to do just for you. Yeah, let's just do just for you. Just for you, and then we'll do a thank you, and yeah, I'll just leave it there for now because I can't think of any others that I want to do, or what I might do. So I think these two will be fine for these last cards. So I'm going to just do that, and then I'm going to do, I think I want the thank you, and I'm going to put a banner on, so like that. So let's glue this into place. Keep picking up the wrong glue. Okay, like this, and then we're just going to pop that across there like that. And then we do have, where is it? We have one gem somewhere left. There he is. And we're going to have just that here, like so. And then I'm going to finish that off with, oh, I was going to do 2 hearts on either side, but yeah, let's just do that anyway. So there's one heart, and there's the other heart, and then move that into the center, and there we have it. That is card number 4. Gorgeous. Right, our final one, and we do have, wherever he's decided to run to, is Tommy Turtle, so let's use him. I'm going to use, let's use one of the wooden papers. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 by 5 3/4, and then we're going to stick that down onto our card base like so. For the sentiment, because I've already done the sentiment, I'm actually going to stick it onto some of this green to matte it. Actually, we're going to do the linen textured card first, and then we're going to do the green. Okay, so let's do that like so. And then what I'm going to do is use my trimmer to hopefully get this right. So there, and perfect. Right, so that's our sentiment all done. You know what, as we cut things out and do things, I am going to start putting the stuff away, that I'm going to use those circles for stuff we don't need. Now feel free to, you know, put anything from your own stash in this. I am literally just using everything from the kit because it is something that I do like to do. I wonder whether to put a bit of this on. No, I don't think so actually. I think we're going to have that there with that just there. Yeah, because I mean, how simple is that? And then we'll have, do I want stars, hearts, or we'll have circles. We will. So we've used quite a lot in the kit, and we do have our pen. Might do a scribbly border, but you do get to keep the, I mean, you've got the die set forever, and you also have your stencil, and don't forget that your pencils. Still quite a lot. I never got to use the leaves, but never mind. Never mind. Right, okay, so I'm going to keep all of that. So, I mean, there's still quite a bit left, which is quite nice as well. And we are just going to glue Tommy the Turtle down. Okay, like this. And then we're going to grab our sentiment and we're going to glue this down. And I'm hoping that I encourage you guys as well to write your own sentiments. I'm going to use our pen just to put a border in. Sorry, that is Lady, making it known that she is here with us. So all the way around doing that nice scribbly border, because why not? I think it works. We'll do some squiggles like that. Right, okay, and then just to finish it off, I'm just going to grab a few of these circles and we're just going to stick them around as embellishments like this. Okay, and one more like that. There we go. And there we have it. There is our final card. I really hope, guys, this has given you some ideas in creating your own cards, whether it be using this kit, whether it be using, you know, stuff out of your stash. If you've got any layered dies, I hope it does help with your creativity and give you a bit of inspiration. So let's show you the cards that we have done today. So we've got these. This one isn't a card, it is a little wall hanger, but it is so cute. So that's those ones. And then let me bring back in the cards that we made in part 1. And here are those. We don't need this on anymore, so that can go down there. There we go. And then we have these cards as well. So these are all the cards that have been created using this kit. I mean, they're just beautiful. I'm loving them. I think my favourite one from this one has to be using the die. It's just gorgeous, and this one is still my favourite from the first video. Let me know which one is your favourite. If you have managed to get hold of this kit, I'd love to see your makes over on the Facebook group. I'm not commenting as much, but I am reading everybody's posts, so I am loving what you guys are doing, so please do keep sharing them with us. That is it for today, guys. Thank you again for watching. Please do all take care and happy crafting. Bye.